There are loads of LEGO Star Wars sets that haven't been seen in years. I bet loads of you reminisce of that one set you didn't get 10 years ago that is now an excruciatingly high price on eBay. So in today's video, I am going to be listing 10 LEGO Star Wars sets that LEGO needs to remake. In my opinion, this was developed based off of, what I feel is most necessary, what is going to be essential to Star Wars in the future, and also what I think is very likely for sets that could come out. But either way, with that said, I am going to ask you all to hit that subscribe button, and we are going to get right on into it. So starting off right away at number 10, I have a Republic Attack Shuttle. And this one's a pretty easy one to do. First off, the Bad Batch Shuttle, once that retires, this is a very prominent ship featured in the Bad Batch, both Season 1 and looks like Season 2. It's already in the trailers. So you could do something like that, where you could throw in one, may say the new Commander Cody design. We already have a different Commander Cody coming this year, so why wouldn't it be illogical for one to come next year? We have a Crosshair, maybe some of his troopers, the dark ones. We could again see Bad Batch members reappear in that set too. Or we could say do a Clone Wars version. Now, what a Clone Wars version would look like probably is from the season finale of the Clone Wars, or series finale, where, the one Maul tries to escape the Venator in. So that one's a very simple one. The figure selections are, pretty easy. You could say Ahsoka, you could say Rex, you could say Maul, obviously. You could probably have that giant crate that it actually carries. I believe Brick Wizard 59 designed an amazing model in regards to this, and it looks really good. I want to see something like that, maybe, where we could have it carry that. That would be just a cool shuttle build. I think they'd do it for probably $150. They could really nail it down, maybe throw in a pilot, shock troopers, obviously all the rates. That would really make a really interesting and good-looking LEGO Star Wars set. Now, moving on from that, at number 9, I want to give a follow-up with a Separatist Shuttle. We have not gotten one of these in a long time, I believe since like 2009 or 10. These are just an iconic Separatist vehicle. These are used by General Grievous in Revenge of the Sith. They are used by loads of different people throughout all of the movies and even the shows. Now, the last one we got obviously came with Newt Gunray, as well as Uncle Anno, that senator dude, and it came with a couple other things. But this one, if this was to come out, I think this is a great excuse to do some characters we haven't seen before. First off, it's a very nice way to include, say, someone like Wat Tambor, who would be very cool to get in LEGO, maybe a super tactical droid. And we could also see a return of the regular tactical droid, and of course, LEGO likes to throw this guy in like every Separatist set they have come out. But General Grievous is a nice, easy way and another excuse to put him in a set. And also, it's another Separatist vehicle that we have to combat the Republic, because we are honestly lacking in that department. So I think it's somewhat realistic we see that. Also, obviously, the last one we technically got was a Star Wars Rebels variant of this, where it was like all painted. So you could see a very cheap version of this done just like that set. Now at number 8, we have the Bounty Hunter Pursuit from Attack of the Clones. Now, the last one we saw of this big scene in Attack of the Clones was done in 2003, never to be remade again. In fact, we have not seen a Zam Wessel without a yellow head, which is nuts. That's how long it's been since we've gotten these. First off, this is a great excuse, by the way, to get a Zam Wessel and an Attack of the Clones Anakin. Just throw it out there. You could also include a section where, Padme's apartment is included this. You could have another excuse to put Padme in a set, which we haven't gotten in her episode 2 or 3 appearance, really, at all, for a long time. So that would be really cool to see. Overall, it's a pretty iconic scene. I think they could do a set like this for, $60. Have, each speeder be worth $30. Or if they want to throw in the apartment, they could probably do it for $100. And of course, it would be great to see some Coruscant-related stuff. We don't get that much Coruscant in LEGO Star Wars. In fact, I can't think of any Coruscant we've really gotten in LEGO Star Wars other than Palpatine's arrest. So that would be really exciting to see. Now, moving on to number 7, we have a Duel on Geonosis set. The last Dooku minifigure that we have ever gotten came out 9 years ago. By next year, it will have been 10 years ago. And that would be in the Duel on Geonosis set. It came with Yoda, Poggle, Dooku. An amazing set. I have it. It is one of my favorites to this day. And I think they could do this a lot of ways. They could do it much like that set, or they could throw it in a big Geonosis set, or what I think I kind of like the solution as the best, is do a $20 duel style set. Now, obviously, we've gotten the Duel on Mustafar as a $20 set. We've gotten loads of other duels. Obviously, this year we're getting the Vader versus Obi-Wan in a $50 set, which I think is practical for this as well. But I'd like to see a $20 style version of this. It's a cheap way to get a essential Sith lore that we have not gotten in LEGO Star Wars. Again, it'll have been 10 years as of next year. So just do that in Yoda. You could have Yoda. You could like use the mechanism they used in that set where you could actually like spin him and flip him, and that was just a super fun play feature I really enjoyed. And you could have Dooku fight him on like a turntable or something. So that would be really cool. I'm really down to see that, as well as, again, a cheap way to get Dooku and Yoda. Two great characters. Now, either way, moving on from that, another set that I think is kind of less likely, but I think would be really good, and I think it actually could sell really well, and I think it may even make an appearance in the future. The TieDefender. Now, when we first got our last TieDefender, I believe that it was not even canon to Star Wars, but now it is. It was in Star Wars Rebels, and it was epic, and I loved it in that show. I think the last one had a lot of problems. It was very flimsy. The spinning feature was cool, and quite frankly, that's the main reason I want this one. It is a great, cool feature. Like, you just spin around the little things to fire. That is so cool. You could base it around Star Wars Rebels, or I guess other eras, whatever you really think would work best for that. I'd say Star Wars Rebels. You could throw Ezra, you could throw the pilot, you could throw Hera in, and it would be just a really fun Lego Star Wars set. Now, moving on from that, number 5 is a set I think is almost certain to be coming very soon, and this is the Ghost. Now, the Ahsoka show is coming out, so I think it's pretty practical that we actually see this in the near future. I think you could throw in a lot of characters based off of, say, that new show, and again, we have gotten a Ghost in the past. It looks very cool. It had a lot of flaws, I will be honest. A lot of people tend to forget how flawed that set was, so maybe make it a little bigger, maybe make it like $200 scale like the Cad Bane Justifier, maybe even bigger. I don't know. We need to make it big. But it would obviously come with Hera, it could come with Chopper, it could come with Ahsoka, it could come with Sabine and Ezra, maybe Zeb or Kanan or whatever if they want to go for just Rebels, like Star Wars Rebels themed, but if they want to go for Ahsoka themed, you know, it's really up to interpretation. All I know is we need to see one in the near future. Now, what is next? At number 4, we have a dropship with ATOT. Now, we got this set a long time ago, and it is an iconic Lego Star Wars set. Everyone loves it. It had a lot of building problems. As far as I understand, it's kind of overrated. Like, if anyone watches any review on this, you know it has serious building and mechanical problems. So I think getting a nice, actual functional one would be amazing. First off, you can make it Geonosis themed. We could see more Geonosis coming next year. It is long overdue. Obviously, the possibility that we could have is we just get a dropship as a Lego Star Wars set. Then it has the ability to attach to an ATTE. So we can say get a dropship next year that attaches to the ATTE that is currently out. I think that is completely practical and reasonable. I think if they were to do a dropship and ATOT nowadays, it would be very expensive of a set. They'd have to charge like at least $300 because you're getting essentially 2 gigantic sets in one. So you know, you'd have to divide it up weirdly. So I don't know. It would be interesting. I think we could maybe see more 212 theming with that one, or we could go a whole different route and just make the dropship and make that 501st theme. So you're kind of getting some intermixing there, which would be pretty cool. Now, moving on, at number 3, we have an Endor Bunker. Obviously, this was a hugely important theme. The last one we got was a long time ago, like 2005 or 6. Like, it's been a long time since we've gotten the Endor Bunker in Lego Star Wars, and this is one of my favorite scenes from the original trilogy, and I cannot believe Lego has not done it as a set in such a long time. Now, quite honestly, it could be a next Master Builder Series set. I see it very likely as a set that's like $350 price range. You can do a nice big bunker. I'd be so down for a big bunker $350 set. That would be great, not only for this, but you'd use it for clone bases or just regular Empire bases. That would be sick. I'd love to see that. And, you know, you could throw Ewoks in, you could throw Rebel Rex in, you could throw Leia, Han. You could even throw in an AT-ST, although I kind of hesitate to do that because we have so many AT-STs out. You could really do a lot with that. I think it would be absolutely astonishing and amazing. I'm totally down for it. But let's move on to number 2, which is a very essential one, and this is the TIE Bomber. This is a set that has been made by LEGO, but the last one was in the early 2000s. It had blue highlights on it. Like, that's how old it was. It was not structurally sound. It has a very prominent role in the Empire Strikes Back. So that's a big thing. So you can make it Vader themed, throw a Vader in, throw some pilots in. Pretty simple. Or you could do it Mandalorian themed. Now, we did see a brief glimpse of them, I believe, in the Mandalorian Purge scene. So maybe you could like throw a K2SO droid in to like show the Mandalorian Purge if they showcase that more in Season 3. I think we are bound to be getting a TIE bomber. People have been asking for this. I remember, like, in 2018, this was a big thing. Like, where's the TIE bomber? And they did actually pledge they're going to be making a UCS set on it, which is cool, but I want to get a mainline set first. Let's not jump straight to UCS. I want a mainline set. Now, finally, what is the most wanted, in my opinion, remake of a LEGO Star Wars set? And a lot of people here would probably say Gunship. And to that, I say we've gotten a Gunship remade 3 times already. Now, I still want it. I still want more Gunships. Absolutely. Keep the Gunships coming. We just had a UCS Gunship. So we are getting Gunships at least acknowledged. One thing we haven't gotten acknowledged in a really long time is a Venator. The Venator class Star Destroyer. First off, the original one that came out, I hate to say it because now this has found a newfound respect. But it sucks. It's not a good-looking set. It looks chunky. It is very weird-looking. They do a terrible job with it, quite honestly. Like, you have Palpatine and the Senate Commandos take up a significant portion of it. You have a little cannon that pops out, and there's no real interior to speak of, to be 100% honest. You could do something really cool. Do it at least in the style of, say, the 2014 Star Destroyer, if not the First Order Star Destroyer. Just do a really good-looking Venator. I think if, obviously in my ideal unicorn world, I'd have a UCS one like the UCS Star Destroyer. I don't see that as practical right now, although I do think it could happen in the future. What it's probably going to end up being in scale with is something like the Moff Gideon's Light Cruiser. So I'd say 3 rooms. You could throw in a load of stuff in there, like the prison cell. We could base it off of Clone Wars Season 7. So the prison cell where Maul was. We could also have the bridge as an obvious one, and then maybe a hangar bay. Or just an area for troopers to converse. It doesn't have to be huge. But, in terms of figures, again, let's say base it off of that Clone Wars episode. You'd have Ahsoka in there. You could have Jesse and Rex. And maybe an officer, captain, 332nd Trooper, Maul, shock troopers. It is a no-brainer. And you could technically do, like, one with, like, Yularen or something, and that would be cool, too. This is just my, thought. Either way, those are my top 10 LEGO Star Wars sets that LEGO needs to remake. Now, there is so much they have to remake. These are just the ones I would think would be the most important to see. Obviously, I want them to do a play-scale Star Destroyer. We haven't gotten one since 2014. Obviously, I would like to see loads of different stuff. The Skyhoppers, all the clone vehicles, and I'm sure we're going to be actually getting, seeing those again. I wouldn't be shocked if we start seeing those again. Because, it's about time. And LEGO sees the demand for it. So I wanted to show just general stuff I think we should see. I threw in a lot of prequel stuff because though they were made a long time ago, they are frequent at remaking original trilogy stuff. They are not as frequent at remaking prequel stuff, unfortunately. And I feel like that tide is changing, so I want to throw out all these ideas. So if anyone from LEGO is watching, here's a general idea. See what people say in the comments, too. And that's a general idea for what we want to see come out in LEGO Star Wars. Now, obviously, there are plenty of sets that we have yet to see at all in LEGO Star Wars, like the GR75. But I think that'll come with time and loads of other sequel stuff, honestly, that we haven't seen. And I think that deserves a video of itself because there's so much sequel stuff we haven't seen. Remember to peace out and stay awesome. Wait. I can't believe you guys were just about to click off this video without liking it. What's the deal? Why'd you do that? Don't do that. Click that like button. I'm still waiting. Okay, you can go now.